What's going on, guys? Jeremy here, and welcome to the Boothtalk channel. Now today we're going to be talking about dustless sanding systems, specifically the Dynabrade Raptor Vac. Now what I want to talk about specifically is that, especially if you're a DIY guy, or heck, even if you're in a body shop, the amount of dust that comes across whenever you're actually prepping out a car and doing the body work, fiberglass work, final prep work for paint, even going in and sanding and buffing, is a whole heck of a lot, especially whenever it comes to cleanup. Now, especially if you're working in your own garage or whatnot, working on a project, getting ready to paint it, and just working it out, and you go to clean, and the only way to do it is to blow out the entire garage and just have that cloud go everywhere. If you're in a production shop and you've got that cloud of dust going everywhere, it's going to do exactly that, go everywhere, and there's no way to control it. The nice thing about these dustless sanding systems that are out here is that everything is self-contained. So no matter if you're running a DA or running a block or whatever you need to do on whatever step that you're in on the process, you're actually containing all of that dust, and you're not having to have it go everywhere into the nooks and crannies and sitting there trying to get everything cleaned out. Dynabrade came out with the Raptor Vac system. It's an absolute game changer. I want to talk to you guys about it. Let's go check it out. All right, so the setup that we're talking about today is actually from Dynabrade, and this is their Mini Raptor Vac dustless sanding system that they have. I got this a couple months ago. I've put it through the paces here at the home studio, and it's actually really cool. I've done it, as you'll see later on in the video, with this fiberglass jet car that I've got, and also for some woodworking. Now, I don't have any footage of that, but it did an absolute awesome job. That was the first thing I tested it on. Little known fact about me is that I grew up, my dad was a woodworker, my mom did hand painting and toll painting and stuff, and that was just kind of how I got my start. So I grew up with Dad having a dustless system, a vacuum system for all of his woodwork. So it was really nice. If you've ever done anything like that, you know how light and fluffy that gets, and that's why I wanted to do this demonstration with fiberglass, because it's very similar, it's fluffy, it goes everywhere. So I just wanted to do that demo with this. Now, the neat thing about this setup is that they just went through and revamped their entire tool line. They've got their extreme sanders that you'll see, that I'll insert a close-up picture of for you, as well as their traditional DAs. You can get them in 3/32 seconds as well as 3/16, and they're easily identifiable just by simply looking at the actual trigger control that they have here, as well as they also have a valve right here that goes to add on that you can just help control the actual speed that you're going on. Couple of cool things about it is that actually everything fits directly right inside this box. So no matter if you're using your blocks, your DAs, your sandpaper, whatever it is, everything fits right in here, no issues, no nothing, and you can just shut it, and then you can carry it however you want to. If you're going across for some stupid reason, you want to store it, however, all you got to do is simple, give it a twist, and then you're good to go. Now up here on top, it does have a little twist lock on it. You can slide that, and then the entire thing just comes right up. The actual stand itself is actually really heavy duty. I do want to tell you guys, pay attention to the instructions, because it's not one of those that you think you can just put together. I tend to be kind of a dope, and I had to go back and actually backtrack, and it took me a little bit longer to put it together. But it's a very simple design once you actually see how it all goes together, and very, very cool. The vacuum itself is a chrome finish on it. It does come with a splitter, so in case you want to run two different hoses, you can get the extension hoses. Overall, it's a really cool setup, and I just want to start inserting some of the footage here, because I can tell you all the little specifics and all the little things about it. But if you've never used a dustless sanding system, or if you're on the fence about trying one, this is where I want to really convince you. I'm going to show you some video clips of me sanding with a traditional DA versus a vacuum DA hooked up to this. And I lay down some black tar paper here on the fiberglass car, and I want you to see just how much dust is actually going down with the regular DA versus with the vacuum, and vice versa once I actually get into the fiberglass and stuff. So we're going to go ahead and just jump to the footage of using it, because I want you to be able to see the differences and the advantages of why you need to use one of these. Alright guys, now we are starting out here with just a regular DA and some 80 grit on just some fiberglass patches. See, showing you the dust, we're going to go ahead and hook up the vac and turn to the auto on feature. This way the vacuum only turns on whenever the trigger is depressed, and it'll automatically turn off. Now we're sanding this with the Dynabrade 80 grit. Again, just trying to knock down some of the rough fiberglass that's on there. As you can see, it's actually sucking up the dust as well as the dust from the previous DA work. Pretty cool setup. Alright, now we've got the vac system turned up to the continuously on feature. This is what you'll want to use for the blocks. Now this is just some 180 on that block. Just going to turn it to off and just go at it with just the straight block by itself, no attachments. This way you can just see the dust. Now you might see the car moving a lot right there. This is just one big fiberglass body. There's nothing else to it. It's just the body sitting there. So pretty easy to move. See the dust? All right, we're going to go to test 2. All right, now here I've got the vac system set up, and this is a piece of 80 grit on that vacuum on the DA. And we're just sanding off just a graphic that was there. Now, you can see down there on the ground, I've got a black piece of roofing paper just to show any dust. We'll swap it back over to the regular DA, again with just another piece of 80 grit. This is what was really convincing for me. Look at all that dust falling. Very impressive and a very, very cool setup. I dig it. All right, guys, so now that you got to see it in action and actually see just how everything works, it's really neat to actually put it to use and see the difference. That's one of the reasons why I laid down that black tar paper, or roofing paper rather. I wanted you to be able to see just how much dust is actually contained by the system itself. It's very cool, very, very awesome system to use. Like I said, I grew up with my father being in a wood shop. That was part of the family business that we had. So he already had one set up. He had asthma, he had breathing problems, so he really had to take care of himself. So I grew up in that kind of an environment, and that was really, it's kind of been instilled in me, and it's really neat to see that that kind of technology is coming more so and being more affordable into the automotive field. So especially if you're a DIY guy working in a shop, whatever it is, it's neat stuff that you can get a hold of, and I really encourage you to check it out. Now, one thing that I do want to mention, this is the longest block that I have from Dynabrade. They actually make one that's a good bit longer, and I'm actually going to order it. I do not have one, but what I want to do is actually follow up a video with this. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to be filming some stuff as I go further along on this jet car project for my buddy, and we're going to use this system the entire way through. I'm going to show you blocking the entire car, blocking out the primer, blocking out the bodywork, everything. I want to document it just so you can see just how well it actually does, and we're going to see how much dust this thing actually collects after the entire project is done. So I think it'll be a cool thing just to keep things going and keep following things through. So what I want to do here is actually give you a couple of screenshots here from the Dynabrade's actual catalog that you can get, and I want to show you their new tool lineup as well as the part numbers for this Raptor Vac itself. So right here, we're going to go ahead and drop in a picture, and this is going to be for the Mini Raptor Vac itself. And here you can see where it's going to come with everything. You can see everything listed there as well as part numbers in case you're interested in it. And now we're going to go ahead and we're going to drop in a picture of the Extreme Orbital sanders that they have. And as you can see, you can get those in a non-vacuum or a vacuum. I actually have one up at the shop that's a non-vac. And I can personally attest, these things are really nice. They're super, super smooth. And then we'll go ahead and show you the other just traditional DA right here, just for general sanding. Again, you can get these in a non-vac, in a regular vac. And then why not, just for giggles, we're going to drop this picture in here. This is actually for the Bondo busters that they have, the mud busters. So again, just so you can get your part numbers and whatnot. And so guys, I encourage you, reach out to Dynabrade, get yourself a catalog, go through and see what all they have to offer. They seem to be really on the cutting edge of what's going on in the industry as far as what the techs are going to need, and trying to evolve and come out with different things that we're going to be using for this Raptor Vac itself. So I like it, I own it, I think it's a cool system, and I think you will too. If you've ever considered getting into a dustless sanding system, you might want to give the guys over at Dynabrade a call. Guys, be well, stay safe. We're going to catch you next time.